what to do with your hands, and you believe you can start a business. Maybe you want to start a small shop in front of your house where you go and buy some groceries and come and retail to the people in your neighborhood. You've identified that in your neighborhood there's a certain thing that it's difficult for people to get in, so they have to walk longer distances to be able to get. Tell us, when you identified that and decided to go into that business, was it easy, or you needed to gather a lot of money to be able to buy what you needed to start? Did you need to get a shop, or using a table was enough for you? Tell us how much you need to start a business, and you can call us on 0539161609. Government has brought up various policies that are supposed to help youth especially get into entrepreneurship. Government has been very loud about the entrepreneurial spirit in the youth, and because of that, so many things has government put in place so that the youth can be able to. So let us know. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Ibrahim. I'm calling from Savannah region.
Ibrahim, how much do you need to start a business?
Hello?
Hello, Ibrahim. Okay, Ibrahim's line dropped. You can call us on the numbers on your screen. You tell us how much you need to start a business. Government's brought up several policies to help. Okay, hello, your name and where you're calling from? Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Okay, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Please, have you started a business, or do you intend to start a business? How much do you need to start that business? Okay, Patrick was saying.
Jennifer.
Okay, Jennifer. So we'll share a juma biasia. I hear we here and so we to media share.
This year the way I name my boy we have 5,000 now. Basically, I started.
Because after that, Juma Ben sa na 5,000 beti me share.
Me the managing we are 4 stars.
Ade.
4 stars.
Okay.
Some body tomatoes and anwa more wood na buy salad so they will be at our shop for baby.
Okay. 5,000 no na de kwa koton your man.
Yes.
Na shop how de begu me.
Nka me table shop me nim haya.
Okay. And 5,000 can start a small foodstuff business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, dear.
Jennifer says that with 5,000 cedis, you can start a tabletop foodstuff business. You go and buy some oil, some tomatoes, and I mean the basic things you need to cook at home, and start it on a tabletop in front of your house. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Majid Suleiman.
Okay, Majid. Majid, if you want to start a business, how much is adequate to start that business? And tell us which business it is.
Yes, I'm calling from Mali.
Okay.
Starting up a business, I think we have a different business that you will need to start with capital, and others you don't need capital to start with. For example, where I'm coming from, if you are going to trade in animals, there are instances where you go and buy the animal on credit, send it to market, sell, get your profit, and bring back the money to the owner.
Okay.
There are also instances that is in the north, but not every part of the north. I mean in Saviligu, Tamale, like let's say northern region. But in Kumasi, if you are trading animals, you need to pay cash, send the cow or the sheep or the goat to the market, and also sell. So the business you want to do, it depends which one you want to do.
Okay. So
maybe if you are in IT, you only need maybe a laptop to do your designing. That is just a fixed cost. And the rest, you don't buy anything again to do the design. So it depends which business you want to do.
Okay, so you're saying that to go into the business of selling some animals in the north is a good one because you don't really need capital to start it.
Yes.
Okay. So it means that if I come to the north, I can start a business and make some good money.
Yeah, that is true, but it's also based on your credibility,
Okay.
that you can do it and you not run away with their money. They all the time they'll be calling you, I want to sell a goat or I want to sell grains. You can pick it, go to a market, sell the grains, come back and pay the money.
Right. Okay. Thank you. That's an eye opener for those of us down south. At least we understand how we can also start a business if we make our way up the north. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you two call us, tell us, you also be opening our eyes on what you need to start a business here in Ghana. Someone has said in the north, so far as you have credibility, you may be able to start a business without any capital and you start making money. Hello, you call us and then you tell us, hello, good morning, your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Isifu Abdul Shakur.
Okay. Isifu, how much do you need to start a business?
Oh, in the business sector, it depends upon the business that you are to set or that you are to start.
So what business? If you, Isifu, were starting a business, what business will it be and how much would you need?
If it is me, I'm a farmer. So to me, the money or the amount that I need to start my business, farming and trading is like we are the same. So if I get like, if it is me, like 7,000 will be okay.
Okay. 7,000 will be okay for the farming business. Which crop would you be farming?
Soya beans.
Soya beans, okay. So Isifu says that with 7,000 he can start a soya bean farm and make some money. Thank you, Isifu. Various opinions, very, very varying and very interesting ones. You can also call us. Let's take some 2 calls. Let us know how much you need to start a business. Tell us which business it is, and then we can also open our minds to it. At least today I've learned about the north. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Your name and where you are calling from, sir?
This is Moses.
Okay, Moses, if you were starting a business, tell us which business it will be and how much you would need for that business.
Like
Hello, Moses. Okay, we have lost Moses. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
hello.
Hello, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. I'm calling David. I'm calling from Volta region.
Okay. If you were starting a business, tell us which business it would be and how much will be ideal to start the business.
Okay. That's why I want to start a business. Like I have 10,000. I can start. I like this yam business. Yeah, so like if I get like 10,000, I can reuse it and start a manage small so that it's like to help me.
Thank you. So 10,000 can start a young business for him.
Yes, please.
So very varying opinions on how much you need to start a business. Today we've learned that 10,000 can start a young business. Someone says that with 5,000 they can start a foodstuff business on a tabletop in front of their house. And we've also learned that in the north, if your credibility is good enough, you can start dealing in the selling of some animals like cows and goats and all. You just need to have credibility. You are given on credit, you go and sell and you come back and pay the money, and by that now you have some profit to continue the business. Very interesting takes, but that's the question about how much you need to start. Through the Vox Pop, we found out that someone said she needs about 300 to start a beaded bag business. We'll have more conversations on this and the policies government has put in place to help people like us to also be able to start our own businesses. That is all for Business Fix. Let's take a very short break. We will be back with our main discussion. You're welcome back. And our main discussion today, we are looking at the Electoral Commission. Our elections are in just a few weeks, and I know that many of us may have made our decisions about who to vote for just yet. The Electoral Commission, finally, at the moment, 12 candidates are out of the presidential race. At first, it was just 11. But with the unfortunate demise of Ekua Donkor, GFP are out of the running. The running mate to Ekua Donkor, Apia Kubi, popularly known as Roman Father, filed to contest in her stead when EC gave the opportunity for the GFP to present another candidate. Unfortunately, the EC has had to disqualify him because of some discrepancies. So at the moment, 12 candidates are out of the running. Also, today, the Electoral Commission is beginning to transport ballot papers to various regions. They will start transporting ballot papers to the various regions. We'll be speaking with Kofi Akpaloo, who is a presidential candidate for the Liberal Party of Ghana, LPG, so that we can have conversations on the updates or how far we have come in the bid for elections this year. This elections hasn't been without conversations. So many conversations here, and the first time that a candidate has died before the elections. The EC mentioned that there are no set out rules or guidelines as to how they have to conduct themselves, so to speak, on what to do after a candidate has died. However, the EC gave an opportunity for the GFP, 10 days for them to select a candidate. That was also not without issue at all. The party was literally divided. Whereas this party, this side said that they were respecting the memory of their founder. They were not presenting any candidates. Another said that they are the leaders of the party. They have sat and have decided that this is the person who will stand in the stead of the party. So many conversations there. The EC met with the political parties and told them that there will be no change in the way the candidates are arranged on the ballot paper. When Ekua Donkor passed, when the news broke of her death, so many were concerned about whether there was going to be another balloting to see how they will be moved, or was it going to be done where the candidates just going to move up as it were. EC has brought a finality on the case and says that they will remain as they were. All of the candidates will remain as they were on the ballot paper. So we know that however you have been campaigning, you can continue. You don't have to go and change all of your posters, all of your flyers to resensitize your supporters or the masses to be able to find you on the ballot paper. Where you were at the beginning is where you still are at the moment. And this is so far the updates from the Electoral Commission. Like I said earlier, today Electoral Commission begins to transport ballot papers. Soon and very soon we are getting closer to the elections. Who will you be voting for? It lays with you. That's why here we say it is your votes alone that we need, not violence at the poll center. So you continue watching us here on ABC News GH. We will update you with everything. Be rest assured. We have joining us Kofi Akpaloo. He is the presidential candidate for the Liberal Party of Ghana, LPG. Hello, Mr. Akpaloo. Thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You have picked up nominations twice, and even as a small party, you have been cleared on all these two occasions to contest. What is your secret?
Oh, in fact, I've done it. This is the fourth time.
The fourth time?
The first two, they rejected my nominations.
Yes.
The 2012, the 2016, I was rejected. So this, it's not like I started and then I failed through. So I've learned over the time.
So your secret is that you've learned over the time?
Exactly.
Well, then
Exactly.
the last time we spoke, you said that at that time you didn't understand some of the processes of the EC, so
Yeah.
it also made you feel the
Exactly.
EC were after you. So you even encouraged your colleagues who have been disappointed or disqualified that they should sit back and watch things properly.
Exactly. Exactly. You have to learn, because the more you do this, at least you identify some of the common errors and mistakes, and then you correct.
Mr. Pelu, what do you think the other parties did that made them fail to meet the cut? The Ekuadonkos party, in the first place, they were able to file their nominations, no issues. Ekuadonko is on the ballot paper. If she hadn't died, she would have been contesting for the elections. Unfortunately, she died. And EC says that her party should bring somebody else. The same party that were able to present a candidate and were qualified, this time they have been disqualified. What do you think they and the other parties that failed to meet the cut did not do right?
Yeah. You see, if you had listened to Electoral Commission very well, they said they identify some anomalies and some illegalities. So I don't know what the illegalities are. So the EC will be the best person to explain that, or the candidate themselves. So if they don't understand it, maybe they can go to court and then contest. So I cannot speak for them.
Okay. You have also insisted that the Electoral Commission reprints the ballot papers without the picture of the late Ekuadonko. Why this insistence, Mr. Pelu?
Yeah, because Ekuadonko is no more with us. So if she's no more, why should we entertain her position? We should take her off and then reprint the whole ballot papers. And it will save us any litigation whatsoever that may occur in the future. Because as it stands now, when you are computing the presidential results, we base everything on percentages. So if people go ahead and vote for Mami Ekuadonko, how are you going to treat her results? How are you going to treat them? Are you going to discount them, or you're going to count them? So we need to look at that. If you are going to classify them as invalid, do you think everybody will understand in the future? Some people will argue if it's going to favor them, they'll say, oh yes, let's discount it. But if it's not going to favor somebody, the person will raise a question, and then it will end up in court. So to avoid those future litigations and misunderstandings, let's do the right thing now. Let's take it off. Let's reprint the ballots so that the elections will be done in a peaceful manner.
Mr. Pelu, we understand that the cost implication is high. Others have raised the issue of cost implication. Don't you think that we have to also look at this cost issue and let it slide, especially as we have just a few weeks to the elections? Why are you insistent on all of this printing?
Oh, they are not law. All that you are saying are not backed by law. Okay? You have to follow what the law says. It's not about what you feel. It's about what the law says. The law says that if it happens this way, do it this way. So why are you running away from the law and trying to do your feelings? You can't do your feelings. You have to do what the law says. As simple as that. We sometimes in this part of the world, we believe in our feelings more than what the law says. Let's do the right thing all the time to avoid any misunderstanding whatsoever.
But what you are asking, unfortunately, do you think will happen? Today, Electoral Commission says that it will be distributing or transporting the ballot papers to the various regions. When do you think they will have time to reprint these ballot papers that you're asking for?
Maybe they can go ahead and do whatever they want to do. You understand? They can go ahead and do whatever they want to do. But they shouldn't say anything otherwise. If something happen in the future.
Okay. Does it mean that you are
because in the future, depends who is going to benefit from this incident. When we are computing the results, and then we know that Kwadenko has gotten, let's say, 10% of the vote. Hmm? And when you add it, it's going to benefit somebody, or when you take it out, it's also going to benefit other person. Do you think people will accept it easily like that?
Mr. Palu, should I take it from you that you
are you going to, I going to say that Kwadenko votes are invalid or valid? How are you going to classify them?
Mr. Palu, should I take it that you are looking at taking the EC to court in the future should anything happen in these elections because the Ekwadonko is still on the ballot paper?
Yeah, I have that option.
Would you use that option?
Definitely, I will use them. Because I want the right things to be done.
So after these elections, we should expect a suit against the EC, whether before or after?
Definitely, we're going to decide maybe today or tomorrow. If the EC doesn't come out to tell us what they are going to do, if they refuse to listen to wisdom, then we will proceed to court.
Okay, you will proceed to court. At IPAC, Mr. Palu, are you educated on the type of errors or irregularities that constitute disqualification when you go for IPAC meetings?
No, it's individual, depending on what you do on your form. Then they will tell you that maybe you made this mistake or that mistake. Okay? Because the moment you pick the form to fill, you should know what you're going to fill on it.
No, and okay. I'm asking that when you go for IPAC meetings, does the Electoral Commission teach you or guide you on things?
No, they don't do that. They don't do that. That one, if you don't understand anything, it's up to you to go and ask them. They presume everybody knows what he or she is doing.
But why do they presume that, Mr. Palu?
Yeah, because you have filled the form to register as a party. So it's the same process.
Well, let me ask you, let me go back to 2012 when you were disqualified. This year and so far, the EC's justification for the several disqualifications they have meted out are generalized responses. They say technical errors or irregularities. In your experience, when you were disqualified, did they give you a specific reason? Did EC give you a specific reason?
Oh yeah, in fact, you see, in 2012 we had done a new register. And I had to go around and pick 2 people from each district of Ghana to endorse my nomination. So I couldn't meet that requirement. So that was the reason.
Okay. Don't you think that the EC must come clearer on their responses about disqualification than the generalized ones they give about errors and irregularities? This year, because the number of parties that were disqualified were many, Ghanaians had expected that the EC would give them better explanation. Don't you think they should come clearer on it so that we can trust them more than we already do? Hello, Mr. Akpalu. Okay, we have lost Kofi Akpalu. We will get in touch with him and have more conversation with him. But he says that if the Electoral Commission refuses to listen to reason, they will sue. What is the reason they're expecting the Electoral Commission to listen to? They're expecting the Electoral Commission to reprint the presidential ballot papers without the name and face of Ekwadonko. They say that it will avoid any future litigations that may arise after the elections. And the EC, if the EC does not listen, it shouldn't complain about any repercussions. So he is expecting the EC to listen, for the EC to reprint the presidential ballot papers before things get worse. If they don't, he says if the EC refuses to listen to wisdom, the LPG will be suing. We are having conversations on this. 12 candidates disqualified. We're asking him about the EC coming clear on reasons for disqualification. This year, 12 candidates, 12 have been disqualified. The reasons we have the reasons we have received have basically been about irregularities, very general reasons from the EC. General ones, and we would have expected that the EC will give us more, as Ghanaians are asking. But these are some of the people, the candidates that were disqualified: Nana Stevens of Japan, Paul Peko, James Kwesi Opon, John Enyonam Kwekut Pipi, Dr. Samuel Sampon Ankra, Ni Amo Daakon, Samuel Apia Dankwa, Desmond Abrefa, and Kofi Asamoah Sian of the PPP. They are some of the people who have been disqualified. PNC's Bernard Mona, who you see on your screens, was also PNP, who was also disqualified. You see him on your screen. He actually went to court. However, he was unsuccessful. Apia Dankwa also did and was unsuccessful. At the moment, too, GFP has also been disqualified. The Ghana Freedom Party, founded by Ekuya Donko, also disqualified from the race. And Ghanaians are asking for more explanation from the EC so that maybe in the future, those who would want to stand for, who want to be candidates for elections, can better prepare themselves. Kofi Akpaloo says that at IPAC, they are not given they are not taught how to fill their forms. We would have wanted to find out if indeed maybe they teach them how to fill their forms at IPAC, but he says no. So far as you have picked up your forms, you should know better than to make certain mistakes. He keeps saying that for him, he made certain mistakes in 2012 and he's learned from his mistakes. Kofi Akpaloo had a lot to say. Let's listen to him. We will be back for this conversation.
Festering of dissent within our democratic processes. What my lawyer has just said is testimony that the government of our issue was not looked at by the judge. We came to court on Exhibit 4. We only drew attention that Exhibit 2, which was written on the 13th, indicating the specific pages that the Electoral Commission claimed were incomplete particulars of our supporters. When the Electoral Commission drew our attention to those specific pages, we corrected them and resubmitted same. My General Secretary is here. He submitted it. What is in contention is that Exhibit 4 came from the Electoral Commission indicating that we are disqualified.
It's going to create a whole lot of confusion in the country. People are going to go from America who is also, we are all aware that she's not alive. So how are they going to do the counting at the end of the day? Because the presidential number, we do the calculation based on the percentages gathered by each candidate. Now, are we going to say that those are going to vote from America, they are one are going to be taken off of the ballot, or they're still going to be counted? We don't want confusion at the end of the day. We don't want a situation whereby a losing candidate will just stand up and say he's not going to access the results because of the percentages. So, in view of this, we are asking the Electoral Commission to reprint a new ballot paper is printed out. You see, if the candidate had qualified, nominee, if he had qualified, definitely we are going to print new ballot papers. We're not going to say that it's going to cost us money. So now that his party did not qualify, then you have to take their party from the ballot. That's all that we are asking the ECC to do. It's forget about the money involved. Let's do the right thing that will create a peaceful atmosphere in this country. That's why we are calling on the press to understand, because shouldn't let this pass without we attacking it. Like what happened when Michael Quay, senior, sacked the, what do you call that, the former MP. Look at what is happening now. He heard at that time, but nobody says anything. Now it has come to the realization that now we have the Supreme Court fighting something that somebody did, nobody talked about. So we don't want this to happen. And then in the future, we do something else. So please, let's get the Electoral Commission the money, the needed resources to reprint something else. So please, let's get the Electoral Commission the money, the needed resources to reprint the ballot papers so that we have a peaceful election. That's why we call on the
of the LPG on the need to reprint the ballot papers. But these disqualification conversations have raised concerns about the political parties at IPAC. These parties go to IPAC. They have been admitted into IPAC. It means that they have some credence to themselves. The EC has weighed them and realizes that these are parties that can come to IPAC. So if they are able to take decisions at IPAC and all, what are some of the issues that are causing them to be disqualified? Do they go to IPAC just to add to the numbers? Have they really been weighed enough that they should be able to stand on their own 2 feet to conduct themselves the way they would? So these are some of the questions that have been raised about political parties. They are founded, they are registered, and so they're able to be admitted to IPAC. If they've been able to found a party and adequately register the party, then what is election forms? What are forms to be nomination forms that they can't fill? Questions that we should be asking. If they've been able to found a party and all, how then? What are the issues that they are unable to just fill nomination forms, that they say irregularities are the reasons why they are not able to sail through to become candidates? Let's speak with Dr. Alidu Seidu, Professor Alidu Seidu. He is a political scientist at the University of Ghana. Prof, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners and viewers.
Prof, from where you sit, is the Electoral Commission treating smaller political parties and independent candidates in terms of disqualifications for the elections? Are they treating them well, or they have become the smaller fish that you can throw to the sharks?
Okay, I believe the work of the Electoral Commission is provided for in the Constitution. So what the Electoral Commission can do and cannot do is clearly defined in the 1992 Constitution. But also, the Electoral Commission is a state entity that people can sue, and it can also sue people. So it can sue and be sued. So even in cases where people believe that, or stakeholders to the electoral processes like political parties and the smaller ones for that matter, believe that the Electoral Commission is not treating them fairly, they have the right to resort to a court of competent jurisdiction for these grievances or perception to be addressed. So that's how I want to start from. So based on this, I want to believe that in all the cases that smaller political parties have been disqualified or allowed to participate, it is largely informed by genuine reasons from the perspective of the Electoral Commission. And where candidates or those affected believe that that decision or the exercise of the mandate of the EC was not properly done, they can sue. And you have seen a lot of them. I think in the run-up to the 2020, even 2016 election and the 2020 election, particularly 2016, there was a lot of disqualification of a lot of the smaller political parties, and they went to court. And then it happened again, I think, in 2020. And even this time around, Bernard Mona and some other candidates who have been disqualified thought that it wasn't done in a fair manner, and they have gone to court to seek redress. What I believe is the fact that, you see, our Constitution guarantees the right to participate, to the right to vote and be voted for. So, and the Constitution also says that political parties can compete to either win as representative of Parliament or as president. So you can contest as an independent candidate or as a political party. So in all these provisions, people who have the interest and the right and believe that they are cut to do the job will definitely fail. What we have realized over the mushrooming of smaller political parties in our body politic is actually guaranteed by the freedom to associate, to form political parties and to contest for political power. That is guaranteed. So they have the right to do that. But also too, over the years, there have been the tendency that since the beginning of the Fourth Republic, the NDC and the MPP have dominated. They have all ruled this country on 4 consecutive terms out of the 8 elections that we've had. So people now believe that, is there an opportunity that we can have a neutral or a third party other than these 2 political parties that is playing chess with us all the time? So it's just like when you lose an election, technically, I always say it's like you've gone for a coffee break for the bigger political parties. For 4 years, 8 years, you come back again. So because they think that, whichever way it is, after 4 years or 8 years, I'll definitely come back. They think that, as for the next election, I'm just taking a break for this number of years. But if we know that these smaller political parties are also strong, and then the competition is thrown up widely, so maybe if you lose elections, it means you can be in opposition for 20 years before the people will now give you the opportunity to come back. The 2 bigger political parties will take Ghanaians serious, and when they come to power, they will do a lot of things that resonate what we have asked them to do by voting for them. So the Electoral Commission have the power to do that. But I believe that over the years, they have been able to exercise this work in a manner that has been to the expectation of ordinary Ghanaians. But also, there have been a lot of cases that people believe that the work of the Electoral Commission is too much for them to be able to do. One, they are supposed to conduct elections, register political parties, and all those things. So the conduct of election in itself is a big job. Now, the regulation of political parties and their activities across the country is also another big job. And I learned in some democracies, you have 2 separate institutions that take care of this critical role. One is focused on conducting elections, whether political party primaries or for by-elections or regular elections or whatever it is. That is their job. Then there's another that regulates the conduct and the behavior and the validity of the political party. So we have like a chartered Ghana CA, Chartered Accountants of Ghana. They regulate their membership and see people who are of good standing and they follow strictly. We have maybe the Ghana Legal Council. So maybe people think we should have another institution that is focused largely on regulating political party activities and see whether they are up to task. They are paying their dues. They have all the offices at the district levels across the country and all the things that they are supposed to do, so that the burden will shift a little bit from the doing elections alone, compiling voters register, elections, by-elections, political party primaries. It's a whole lot of work and activity for the EC.
Prof.
So if you add, yes.
One of the questions that have been on the minds of people is the fact that if these political parties are able to be admitted into IPAC, it means that they have some form of standing. Why then is the issue about disqualification? It looks like every time certain political parties will always have discrepancies. They come for IPAC. We believe that IPAC is a place where they are worth the assault to be at IPAC. Or is it that they just follow to come and add to the numbers? Because if I am a political party, I have my structures in place, that my structures are working. I have been able to set up and register the party. What is a nomination form that I cannot fill?
So I think there's a wrong perception about the fact that once you are in IPAC, as a registered political party, you have met all the requirements that is provided for in the Political Parties Act. I don't think so. So if you pick maybe a political party like Equia Donkos, the late, may I so rest in peace, her political party or other small political parties, I have never seen their office in my district. Do you understand? They don't have offices in all the districts in the country. It's not possible. Right? But they sit in IPAC. So I think maybe for the sake of conveniences and getting things done the right way, the Electoral Commission admits every registered political party that is duly registered and have a certificate, then maybe they qualify to sit at IPAC. But people even think that, even in IPAC. So that is one level. But the other level, the fact that you are in IPAC doesn't mean that when you file your nominations to contest for parliamentary or presidential elections, your form should not be vetted. There's also another separate requirements for the filing. including the fact that you have to get at least, I'm not sure whether it's two people per every electoral area in all the country. If you are not able to, and those people should be your members in good standing. So the fact that you are a member of IPAC doesn't mean that if you don't meet those requirements, the EC should allow you to go. So there are two levels of qualifications for both of them, and I don't think we should mix them. But second, people even think that the fact that a political party is registered and duly given a certificate of registration by the EC and sits in IPAC doesn't mean that they should have the same vote. So there are a lot of people who are advocating that maybe the vote of a party like the Ghana Freedom Party at IPAC should not carry the same level of vote for maybe the NDC and the MPP. And I even think moving forward, if there's a possibility that we can even, like the way we have at the UN Security Council, even give either more powers to the NDC and the MPP, or even give them the power of veto, so that the NDC and the MPP should have the power to veto the decisions of other smaller political parties that doesn't have representation in Parliament. So maybe the number of representation you have in Parliament, the number of registered voters you have in the country, that's your membership, the number of MPs you have, and all those things should commensurate with your power, veto power in IPAC. So I think moving forward, the EC should think of something like that, so that if NDC or MPP want something, and there may be Ghana Freedom Party or another party that doesn't even have representation in Parliament, or don't even have offices across the country, and the number of representation or the people who support them are not that strong, they should have the same level of vote. So I'm just thinking aloud that maybe moving forward, there should be a structure that says that once you have this number of seats in Parliament, it commensurates with this number of votes at IPAC, so that those who have highest number of seats will have more say than political parties who will disappear after every elections and come back in the next elections to cause trouble at IPAC.
Well, I was coming to that some of the parties have raised concerns that these smaller parties just come to IPAC to cause trouble. And I borrow your words because the last time we had a conversation, one of the parties used the same word, to cause troubles, to come and add up to the numbers. Is it that our system is too comfortable to be able to allow for every and any party to come to IPAC?
I agree. I think there should be another layer of qualification mechanism besides the fact that you are a registered political party in the country. Now, there should be another level of qualification. For example, maybe even if you are a registered political party, you must have contested elections and have maybe a number of representation in Parliament. So they should be fine. I think there should be levels of qualification. Either the fact that maybe, apart from just being a registered party, there must be something like that. You might have contested a national election and get maybe at least 1.5 or 1% or 2% of the total number of votes in the election to qualify to sit at IPAC. Or maybe you might have, apart from being a registered political party, you might have contested election and win at least a reasonable percentage of vote, and even maybe have representation in Parliament. So when we do that, we can distinguish between what levels of power political parties at IPAC. So if you have contested, you might have contested in national elections and get at least maybe not less than 1% of the vote in the major elections. But that should commensurate with a certain level of power. Okay. Then two, so if you are just a registered political party, you have a certain level of vote power at IPAC. If you have contested election and won maybe at least 1% or 2% of the vote, it comes with an extra power. If you have this number of political parties in Parliament, that gives you a certain level of political power. So that we distinguish between strength and political parties who want to wield more power at IPAC to do more to increase their total number of percentage of votes in elections, but also have representation in Parliament. Prof, so that we just don't give all of them the same level of support moving forward.
Prof, I want to come to the issue of independent candidates. The last IPAC before the previous one, the Movement for Change raised certain concerns when we had a conversation with them. They mentioned that they were not invited to the IPAC meeting, which was about the elections. It was about the voter statistics and all, because they are not a political party. And one of the concerns they raised was that even disqualified candidates were going for the IPAC meeting, where the meeting had no bearing on them because they were not going to be on the ballot paper. They were parties, okay, but they had been disqualified. So this IPAC meeting was really not about them. Whereas they who are presidential candidates, independent presidential candidates, had not been invited to IPAC. So they, in any case, were invited themselves to IPAC. And they even justified it by saying that If IPAC is for political parties, then the EC should find another form of meeting for the independent candidate, because they cannot sit at home where a disqualified candidate goes and makes decisions that will have bearing on them. Isn't it time that the EC looks at its structure and its running when it comes to the way it deals with these political entities?
I agree with you, my sister. I think if you look at IPAC, I think it is Inter-Party Advisory Committee. So I suspect it's more about political parties than about independent candidates. But I also agree that whether political party or independent candidate, if you are contesting to lead this country, then you are a stakeholder to the electoral processes. And decisions that are taken by political parties will definitely have a bearing on independent candidates or parties who are contesting not on the ticket of political parties. So I suggest that moving forward, there should be maybe a level of reform or amendment to maybe change the name from IPAC to something else that could accommodate the independent candidates, or even just leave the name as it is, but amend the provisions or the principles that set up IPAC to allow independent candidates who are contesting for elections to sit and also take decisions that affect their lives. Other than that, what you also have to do is to create a power, and I don't think the power will work, because if it's the same election and they all contestants and stakeholders, I think there should be one platform that they can all sit and judge all. But if they think they can't do that, then they should create a separate platform for the independents who are moving, and then they can coordinate decisions that are taken at IPAC and decisions that, so they can have something like maybe IPAC for political parties, then another set of institutions for independent candidates. But they can have another level of meeting that brings both the independent and the political parties, maybe something like a meeting for the whole, so that both in Parliament they have what they call committee for the whole. That brings almost every other committee or every other member of Parliament sits in. So they can have another level of meeting like that. That brings both political parties and independent candidates together to merge, coordinate, and kind of decisions that have been taken at the different platforms and merge them together to reach a holistic policy that can guide the elections moving forward. So I agree that it's not fair that political party, independent candidates who are stakeholders to an election and will be contesting are not invited to IPAC to take decisions that border on that elections and their fortunes in that particular elections. So something must be done to include independent candidates into IPAC or create a separate structure for them. But at the end of the day, there's a mechanism that coordinates and aligns decisions that are taken at both levels so that we have a holistic policy moving forward.
Prof, coming back to the candidates that were disqualified, shouldn't the EC look at, for want of a better word, relaxing some of their stringent requirements so that the parties can be able to contest? Because some believe that the EC was too brutal with the parties it disqualified. Looking at Ekuadonko's party, for instance, in the first, Ekuadonko's party was able to file, so much so that Ekuadonko herself was on the ballot paper until her demise. Now her running mate also files and he is disqualified. If a party was able to file in the first place and you found them worthy to be on the ballot paper, what really could have gone wrong? Isn't the EC being too brutal?
Yeah, I think I don't understand why that was done, but I do think that the EC will have to have a second look at some of the. I know if they don't meet the regulations, there's no way the EC will let them go. But the fact is that political parties also have, and candidates also have the responsibility to do the right thing, so that they don't put the EC at a tight corner. Because if the EC doesn't do what is right, stakeholders will sue them, definitely, and there are consequential implications for that particular decision that they will take. But with this particular case where a party had qualified and had filed, and then because the candidate passed on, the one who was supposed to replace them was disqualified. I don't know what went into it. But moving forward, I think the EC seeks to do the right thing at all times, knowing very well that people can sue them when they make mistakes. So I believe they are guided by a whole lot of.
Okay. Prof said we are joined by Dr. Rashid Tanko, who is
I am going to a meeting. I'm late. Please,
okay.
So I beg you, just let me go and then you can deal with him. I'm late for the meeting. I beg you.
All right, Prof.
Another time, I'll join you. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, Prof. Professor Seidu of the University of Ghana. He is a political scientist at the University of Ghana. He's going for a meeting, so he's had to leave us, but he's had a lot to say. He says that there should be another layer of mechanism within IPAC to ensure that it is run effectively. At the moment, many feel that IPAC is not really doing as it must do. If political parties are able to be registered and be at IPAC, we don't understand why when it comes to something like filing of nominations, they continue to have certain issues and discrepancies that cause them to be disqualified. But we are joined by Dr. Rashid Tanko, Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. Dr. Tanko, good morning and thank you for your time.
Good morning, dear. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. How are you too?
I'm terrific.
NDC, you have been on the ticket since 1992. What has the NDC been doing that the smaller parties have not been doing? That they, time without number, gets disqualified. You have not been disqualified.
Very well. You see, let me say good morning to your cherished viewers. It's about structures, and I think the Electoral Commission need to take a second look at the way they register political parties in Ghana. I mean, if you look at the law, it appears certain political parties need not to exist. Even some of them, how they qualify to be on the ballot beats my imagination. And that is why I'm saying that we need to do a lot of resetting of this country when we come to power. The reason is that, look, you need to have structures across the country. Okay, you need structures as a political party. You need to have offices in all the 276 constituencies. You need to have offices there, and then functioning executives. So these functioning executives will take hold of the nomination forms and get members to endorse it appropriately. This is across the country. Now, most of the political parties, in fact, 3/4 of them, they are always in Accra here. You only see them in Accra here, disturbing everybody face and ears. That's what they do. And then all of a sudden, you see them appearing on ballot papers. And sometimes you ask yourself, what kind of benchmark or what kind of scrutiny that goes to? Because we know that they don't even, apart from Accra, we should pass through after and Sawam, you don't hear of them, you don't even see any of them. But in the books of Electoral Commission, currently I'm told they are having about almost 12 or 14 political parties in their books. It used to be 27. Hey, can you imagine? 27 political parties in Ghana. Now they have all these things still in our books, but we don't see them. It's a stringent measure. It's not a small thing to endorse a presidential candidate. I mean, we've done this severally, and we know the hectic process we go through to get our candidate endorsed. That's why we hardly have problems when it comes to our presidential candidates.
Dr. Tanko, when you say hectic process to get a candidate endorsed, run us through what it takes to file nominations at the EC. Is it a cumbersome process?
Very cumbersome, very, very cumbersome. You need to send the forms to all the districts across the country, all the districts, district capitals, and then you have to go and get 2 registered voters in those districts to endorse the presidential candidate. So it's not a small thing. It's not like sitting at one place and just get the endorsement. You are going across the country. So what we do, we normally have to travel length and breadth of the country because we just want to do the right thing. We don't even ask that people should do the signing and send it down to us in Accra. No. National will dispatch officers to all the places to monitor and make sure that the voter ID numbers, their residential address, telephone number, everything correct before we now submit it. That is why you hardly see NDC having problem with nominations.
So would you say that our 2 major political parties, you and the NPP, you have well positioned yourself so much so that you can never have issues when it comes to your nomination processes.
Yeah, that's why I say it all boils down to structures. If you have the structures across the country, you will not have these difficulties. Because in every constituency we have executives. We have executives in all the 276 constituencies. We have executives there. And we have branches, all the branches across the current branches that we have. All the branches, we have 99 executives across. So we are well grounded. Okay. So it makes it easy to identify who and who should come in and endorse our presidential candidates. That's how we do it. And it makes it easier. Unlike the other ones, they don't have it. They don't have these structures. I say apart from Accra, get to Nsawam. After Nsawam, we don't see them. They're all here in Accra here. Disturbing everybody on TV, on radio and all that.
So Dr. Tanko, when you say disturbing everybody on radio and TV, you want to say that some of them should be out of the system?
But you know that those of them, they need not to be on the ballot paper. Why should they be on the ballot paper?
So left to you alone, this election, how many candidates would have been on the ballot paper left to Dr. Tanko?
3.
You, the MPP, and who?
The NDC and others.
Dr. Tanko, who are the others?
The others, you should know them. Apart from that, I don't see why should we have all this. Look, from 92, if you look at the number of presidential candidates we have, we've never gotten up to 7 presidential candidates. Okay, we've never gotten up to that. It is just after 2000 thereabout, then we started getting this kind of disturbances on our ballot paper. To the extent today we are having 13. Can you imagine? On a ballot paper. Why should that be? Why should that be? A country of less than 32 million population, you are having almost 32 people coming out to a president. It's because of the governance systems we have currently. What they are saving us. Everybody thinks he can be president. Because if you have this current crop of leaders as our leaders in Ghana, why don't you think that if I have the resources, wouldn't I go in contest? I'm qualified to be a president in Ghana. I'm qualified. So if I have the resources, and I also go and pick nomination form and get all these people to endorse me, then I come and sit down and say, I want to be a president. These are the problems we are having. Because of the governance system currently, the raw deal we are being served as Ghanaians. So if people just sit down, get up and say, oh, we want to be president.
Dr. Tanko, when you go for IPAC, are you given any education at IPAC about how to go about filling nomination forms?
That's not their business. It's not the business of IPAC to be showing people how to fill their nomination form. As a political party, you should know this. If you are a political party, vote or sold, you know the process in endorsing a presidential candidate. Let me tell you, GFP, they did very well. The short time they gave after the death of Ekuya Donkor, they did very well. Within the space of less than 10 days, they managed to gather all the signatures across the country. I'm told it was only 2 districts they have difficulties, just 2. So imagine 268 districts, they did very well, and only 2 that they had difficulties. And I think the Electoral Commission should have been magnanimous in trying to understand them, because they are grieving. They've lost their presidential candidate. Okay, and they've managed within this period to gather all these signatures, no difficulty, no problem with any of their part. Only 2 districts they had difficulties, and there was just a swap on that. Okay, and they used that one to disqualify them. I mean, so they did well. The GFP, in fact, I will congratulate them for going through all this process, because less than 10 days they managed to gather all these signatures across the country. So just 2 fell short, and they are there. And I'm saying that if the benchmark they use on them, because if you look at their distance, according to them, they were calling those who endorse their forms and asking them whether they are aware they have endorsed this and all that, and they were scrutinizing the signatures and all that. If they were to use the same benchmark on these loudmouth guys who are disturbing everybody, none of them will be on the ballot paper.
Dr. Tanko, who are the loudmouth guys you are talking about? Mention them. Let's know who the loudmouth guys are.
You know them. They have been speaking on your network. Do I need to tell you?
Dr. Tanko, you say that we need only 3 candidates on the paper. You say the NDC and the others. Let me give you some options. Choose the 2 that should join you on the ballot paper. NPP, Cheddar, Alan, APC. Choose 2.
I say the others.
I
say NDC and others. That's all. You know them. I don't need to mention them.
Dr. Tanko.
NDC is a primary political party in Ghana, the best that you can think of. The only party that can resolve and solve Ghana problem as of now is NDC. The others are just there. And I'm saying that the others, at least 2 others can join in the race. It's so that we can have a better distance. But look at what we are doing. I can assure you, they will score 0.0000 throughout. None of them will get 0.001%. Watch it. Kenyans are serious now. They want to change. Everybody is looking for change. Who is going to waste his vote?
So you are projecting how much for the NDC? What percentage are you projecting for your NDC?
54. We are looking at 54%. I'm telling you, we are working towards that 54%. John Dramani Mahama, we are working towards it. We are not going to sit down and just cook figures for anybody, but we are working towards it. And thankfully, all the international research organizations, pollsters, are projecting John Dramani Mahama for a landslide victory, first round landslide victory. We are not doing it ourselves. We are not like people who sit at the Flagstaff House and come out with figures, and the figures required is not even making their candidate to win, because they know. Sometimes if you cook your own story, it should stay you at the face. They didn't Flagstaff House, and they did their own research, and they came out. No, their research was telling them that, imagine, they are sitting vice president and an opposition leader neck to neck. That tells you that they've lost the election. That's what was their research. They came out. You saw it. Researchers across the country projecting John Dramani Mahama the winner, and he's going to win. He's winning this election. No machination. No amount of machination or manipulation will stop the winning. The people power is coming.
Dr. Tanko, have you ever filed your nominations and received any call from the EC to check out any irregularities on your forms?
At all. It has never happened.
Never?
It has never happened.
In your time?
No. We have never. We've done this thing severally. So there was no instance where the Electoral Commission called the NDC to come and check some irregularities. No, never.
Dr. Tanko, in all of these disqualifications, EC gives generic responses about irregularities. Isn't it time that the EC goes deeper into what these irregularities are and tells the parties and Ghanaians that these are the parts where you erred, so that it gives them also some clarity and closure?
Oh yes, they give. They always write to the parties. In the case of the GFP, yes, I think they've written to them. I saw it on our presidential platform. I mean, we have a presidential platform where political party leadership are represented. I represent the NDC there. I read the letter. That's why I got to know that 2 districts where they had difficulties. Okay, with the swapping of their ID numbers and then their signatures. I mean, so that is where I got to know this. So clearly, they do write. They write to the political party. They indicate clearly issues on which they are disqualifying you. They put it out there.
Okay. Dr. Tanko, Kofi Akpaloo, the presidential candidate for the LPG, says that we should reprint the ballot papers. EC must reprint the ballot papers. Otherwise, the EC shouldn't complain about any repercussions that may arise. Do you agree with Kofi Akpaloo that at this time, barely 25 days to the elections, the Electoral Commission must reprint the ballot papers for the presidential election?
You want me to dignify him with a response or glorify him?
Dr. Tanko, you are not glorifying Kofi Akpaloo. This is a question that borders on our elections. It borders all of us. And we're asking, should the EC reprint the ballot papers?
Yeah. I'm not going to glorify him with a response.
Dr. Tanko, do you have a problem with Kofi Akpaloo?
Why should I have a problem with him?
So why do you say you will not dignify him with a response?
No. I mean, that has been my position. I don't dignify people with certain positions they take. I just let it pass.
Isn't this a good position to be taken?
The forum for that. Normally, when I speak on issues, I table it at IPAC. I'll speak my mind at IPAC, then I'll come out and speak my mind on it. I don't speak my mind outside and then go to IPAC and sit down there. I think people who have been following my diction all along, and they know how my stand is. At IPAC, I will state my position clearly, no matter what who the box is. Also, I don't care. I will speak my mind, and I'm speaking the mind of my party. I don't go there with my personal edition. I go there with the position of the party. So anytime you see me speak at IPAC, I am coordinating what my national executive asks me to go and say, and I'll say it clearly. Now, at IPAC, we discussed when Madam Jean Mensa finished her speech. An opportunity was given to people to speak. The LPG had their general secretary there. He had their general secretary there. He spoke at that place. He got responses from the Electoral Commission. Others spoke. Okay? And that's ended there. I spoke my mind there.
Okay.
That's why I'm not glorifying anybody with any this thing response.
That's
the platform for you to come and talk. You don't come out and be ranting as if these are the problems. You see, all this is created by the Electoral Commission. When you go about registering and accepting all manner of political parties into your books, that's the kind of problem you have.
All right. Dr. Tanko, today EC begins transport of the ballot papers. How does it sit with you?
Oh, very well. We have taken notice of it. We are prepared to monitor and police the process. We received the letter yesterday, and we put our teams in check, in ready to follow through all the movement of the ballot papers. I mean, we've been doing it. This is not the first time. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Some of the things they do is the EC who is making it to look something new, as if they are doing something new or something extraordinary. These are things we've been doing all along. These are things. But because the awareness has not been created all along, people don't know these things. And that's why people should be grateful to the NDC for bringing out all these things publicly. Now everybody is coming along with us. The processes. They cannot keep hiding certain things from people. Because we've been doing these things. This is not the first time. So anytime they are transporting ballot papers, they will inform political parties. We will come along with our vehicles to follow the vehicles to where they are going with our statistics. So when they give their statistics to their EC officer, we also give ours to our political parties leaders in the regions. Ask the other political party whether they have ever followed any ballot paper to anywhere. That's why I'm saying that it should be just be NDC and some two others. All along, it has always been NDC and some one or two others who always follow through all the processes to the regions and to the constituencies. You don't see all these people. They are all in Accra here.
Dr. Tanko, however, Ghanaians say that at the root of all our problems in Ghana are you two, NDC and MPP. You say that
it's NPP.
You don't agree?
It's NPP.
It's NPP.
It's NPP.
Dr. Tanko, you say it with all of the confidence in your heart that is the NPP.
Yes. But you know it. I need to tell you, it's NPP. Look at how we are suffering. Who is causing all this suffering for Ghana? Is it not NPP? Who is causing all this mess in this country for you? You and I. Is it not NPP? The dollar is running at a speed that nobody can stop it. It's just running. It's now on free flow. Abochi has the dollar, so they know the rate. Abochi, half of Bank of Ghana is completely out. You see, so is that what we are looking for? That is what we are talking of. So if you are talking of the problem of this country, the problem is the NPP. Nobody needs to tell you. You don't need any rocket scientist to come and tell you that the problem of Ghana is NPP. Thank God we are left with some less than 25 days to just kick them out.
Dr. Tanko, you say that since you started following the elections, the NDC always follows the transportation of the ballot papers. This year, what will you be doing extraordinarily that will make you get that 54% you are talking about? How are you guarding the ballot papers?
We are working towards it. In fact, we've deployed our people, current as we speak now. we have our national trainer of trainees all over in the field, training and retraining our party agents. We started training them as far back as June. Okay, the process of getting our party agents, and this is the last part of the training, retraining, and retraining. Okay, so they are going back, and we are going to make sure that they are properly and finally trained, dedicated party agents, and we are using lecturers, lawyers. So if you think you are coming to misbehave a presiding officer, know that a lawyer is going to stand there as a party agent. He knows the law more than you. And then we are telling them, the presiding officers, although we know their duty are found to officials, so as soon as they finish their work in law, we describe them as found to officials. That means they have ended their business. They should do the right thing, the needful. Anybody who thinks that he's going to mess up any polling station with any crooked behavior, he should know that he has a family to live. We are not going to take
Dr. Tanko.
That's what we are saying there.
He should know that he has a family.
Work, right? Oh, yes. Look, somebody will fool you to go and change figures at the polling station. You know you have a family. You and your family are suffering now. And somebody will come and fool you, go and change figures for them. You will continue to suffer. That's what I'm saying. We will all continue to suffer. I'm not the only person going to Mala Atamake. Is it only NDC people who go to Mala Atamake or Makwana? We all go there. So if you think that just one day somebody will come and fool you with some few CDs and you go and be changing figures, that's why I say you have a family to live. All you and your family will suffer. You continue to suffer.
Okay, Dr.
I hope you are getting what I'm saying. And so do the right thing. Let Ghanaians vote the person they want, and let's count the vote and make sure that it reflects what Ghanaians are looking for. Then everybody will accept it. If we all go to the polls with all the difficulties we are going through in the country, and the election free, fair, transparent, and they still think that MPP should continue, do we have qualms for that? We will have no qualms. It's transparent. I'm standing there, you've opened the box and we've counted. No fake ballot. Every ballot is correct. We've counted and they've declared me I have not won. Another person have won. Do I have any reason to reject it? I will have no reason. But where I'm seeing the processes being muddied, the process is not followed through, and then figures are written in such a way that the one we have counted is different from what they are putting on the pink sheet. Do you expect me to accept such a resource? That's why I'm telling them, the presiding officers, Ghanaians are putting their destiny on them. If they misbehave, we will all suffer.
Okay. Dr. Tanko, the polling stations, voter centers, we understand elections are won at the polling stations. Would you be sleeping there, your NDC?
You want me to tell you our strategy? Don't worry. You see us there. Every police station, you see NDC there. Don't worry.
Dr. Tanko, is that a strategy? I mean, if you tell us that you'll be staying there, Ghanaians will be following the elections keenly. Is that a strategy you'd be giving?
I'm saying that you will see us in every polling station. You will see NDC there. December 7th, you see us. Every polling station will be there live. There will not be any polling station without NDC presence. All the 40,000 plus polling stations, NDC will be there live.
2 days to the elections. That is.
Even if it's 1 week, you will see us there.
So for the next 22 days, we will see you there.
We are there. We are there. I think we have branches again. Our branches are conterminous with Electoral Commission polling stations. Are you getting it? So every branch is a polling station. And we have 9 executives at each branch. So already we are there. Every polling station, we are there. We have 9 executives there. So 9 people are already at the polling station. As we speak now. They are executives.
Dr. Tanko, so if you do not get this 54% you are talking about, will you be going to court again?
Which court? Don't spoil my day this morning. Which court are you talking about?
Dr. Tanko, you said that.
Don't spoil my day. Haven't you heard my flag bearer? Haven't you heard my flag bearer talk about the court matter? my national chairman and general secretary, stated our position. These elections, nobody's stepping foot to any court. We'll slug it out at the polling stations.
You slug it out at the polling station. How so, Dr. Tanko? How so?
Yes. The elections are going to be won at the polling stations. That's where the decisions are made. And we'll slug it out there. No court is going to declare any results for us. This country, the law doesn't allow court to declare results for it. It is at the polling station. The people have voted. Count that, and then we'll put it in there. We'll collect the results at the collation center. Finish. We are not going to any court. So anybody who is preparing his mind thinking that we are coming to appear before any court, maybe our colleagues will decide to go to court. But for NDC, no. We have saved notice, and notice is hereby saved. NDC is not going to any court with any election matters. So they should get it clear. If they are preparing their mind for any court, we will slug it out there. And nobody should ever. That's why we are saying that presiding officers and returning officers, if you think you will do anything untoward and ask the NDC go to court, we are all in Ghana.
Dr. Tanko, if you say we are all in Ghana, what do you mean?
We are in Ghana. Are we not in Ghana? Am I in this thing? Togo? Are we not in Ghana? Are we not all in Ghana? Are we not all Ghanaians?
Dr. Tanko, you say we are not going to court. The elections will be won at the polling station. We'll slug it out at the polling station. That is why I'm saying if any presiding officer or returning officer tries anything, we are all in Ghana. And you say, Dr. Tanko, you have something you want to add. What do you mean when you say we are all in Ghana?
Why do you want me to add something? You want me to add something? You are in my mind. You want to construct my mind for me. I'm saying we are all in Ghana. Are we not in Ghana? For some time I have not traveled out. I've been here. Me, I enjoy to stay in Ghana. Even when I go out, I come back. I like Ghana. Ghana is very interesting and sweet.
Dr. Tanko, we hear you and we hear you clearly. We are all looking forward to the elections, 22 days to the elections. How far with your campaign as the NDC? Have you been able to convince the Ghanaian of your policy so far?
Yeah, you want me to repeat myself? Our policies that we have been saying all along, all the opinion polls are pointing towards that we are achieving landslide victory.
No, I'm not talking about the opinion polls. I'm not talking about the 54%. I'm asking that
if your policies are not good, the opinion polls will not give you any results, any better results. How is people opinion formed? Is it not policies? You think people just get up and say, I'm going to vote for NDC for nothing? They vote for NDC for a reason. So all the opinion polls, when they go about conducting their research and all that, they are looking at the policies. That's why they say they vote for NDC. So it isn't that they just get up and start saying, I'm voting for NDC for any reason. There's a reason why they want to vote for NDC. And the reason has been our policies. Our flag bearer has been coordinating our policies all along. And it's going down well with them. It's going down well with people. People are hungry. You are talking about digitalization. Can digitalization feed anybody in this country? What are you talking about? People are hungry. Their businesses are collapsing. Digitalization is not solving any dollar rate. You are still talking about digitalization. Who will vote for such a person? They don't even know the country they want to govern. That is where they are going down and going down. And I'm telling you, Bawumia, if he get 40% this election, he tried. That's why this EC and their cronies are all trying their best to manipulate the process to bring him up to 40%. He won't cross any 40%. They're just suffering. He won't cross there. The worst defeat that NPP will ever get is this coming election. They won't get even 40%. I'm telling you. You know all this, their imagination they are doing. They can do their worst. Their candidate is not just a good candidate for them. Their party is terrible. Their policies worse. It's not going down with the people. Now, last minute, they are on free flow promises. Everywhere you go now, free flow promise. They don't even follow their manifesto again. They see that the manifesto is just empty. So now he talks people things out of his head. Anything that comes out from his mouth, I'll give it to you. That is what they are doing now. You see, it's a dying horse. Nothing can salvage it. It's finished. It's finished. And that's why we are telling state actors.
Dr. Tanko, you have very much confidence in the...
Oh, I know the work we have done. Why am I not confident? I know the work we have put in, the effort we have put in to get to where we are. It's not a small effort. And so we are not just sitting, we are not armchair officers to just sit down and be talking things out of our head. We work for it. And I'm telling you that the fruit of our labor will come December 7th. That's why we are telling them, look, we are in Ghana. And that's why we are telling state actors who are going to be part and parcel in this election process. In the next 25 days, NDC is going to be in office. You have a family to live and to be with. Do your work well. And then we'll all have our heads up. 25 days, your mama will be the next president. And you continue to be a state actor. You are a state actor, not an MPP actor. This should get to people's head. Some people are there, they are behaving as if without NPP they cannot live in this country. And we are telling them, 25 days, tables will change. And you have family to live with.
It seems you have a family to live is going to be your tagline from now on.
Why? I ask you, don't I go to Alatama? You don't go to Makwala Market. Don't you see the things over there? Prices of these things. So you don't have family. Me, I have family. When I take money and go to the market, sometimes I don't even want to come home. Because I come home at the time when the children are asleep. I'm not bringing things home. And you can't come home, Daddy, welcome, you can't give them anything. So we intentionally delay. That's why there's a lot of traffic in the evenings. People don't want to go home. They want to get home before when they get home, their family are asleep. And they get up very early too. Who is causing these things? Is it not the NPP policies? These are the issues we are talking of. You have a family to live, so look at them before you make a decision.
Okay. Dr. Tanko, on this note of people being in traffic because they don't want to go home, we thank you for your time this morning.
I hope you vote for us.
Pardon?
Your team. I expect you to vote for us and your team. They should vote for change. Vote for NDC.
Dr. Tanko, we take your recommendation in good faith.
Yes, and I expect that you vote for us. Have a good day.
Have a good day, Dr. Tanko. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, the Deputy Director for Elections and IT, on the Electoral Commission. He says the Electoral Commission has to take a second look at the registration of political parties. There are too many political parties in the system. That's what Dr. Tanko is saying. And he's saying that his candidate, John Mahama, will be winning the elections in a landslide victory of 54%. And that if the NPP's Bawumia gets anything up to 40%, then they have tried. Because the NPP won't be receiving any votes which will be up to 40%. He says the tables will turn. We should understand that we all have families to live. So we should be voting for the NDC. He says that the NPP has thrown Ghana into this state so much so that now the intense traffic we see in the evening is because many parents can't go home because there's nothing to send home. So they decide to stay out so late. And that is what Dr. Tanko says. And Dr. Tanko, the Deputy Director for Elections and IT, that is all for our discussion this morning. Let's take a short break. We will be back.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Welcome back. ABC in the morning, live on ABC News GH. Up next is Politics Today. On Politics Today, we are looking at celebrity endorsements. Will celebrity endorsements have any impact on the 2024 elections? And we have less than a month to the 2024 elections. The phenomenon of celebrity endorsements in politics, are they a mere spectacle, or do they have real power to sway voters? Celebrity endorsements are not new in the political landscape, not at all. From musicians and actors to influencers, notable personalities have often lent their star power to political parties and candidates. These endorsements seem to amplify a campaign's reach, especially among voters who follow these celebrities closely on social media and other platforms. In the just ended US elections, we saw high-profile figures endorse their candidates. Celebrities such as Beyonce, Cardi B, Oprah Winfrey, they all came out to endorse their candidates. And similarly in Ghana, we've seen various celebrities endorsing political parties. For instance, musicians like Daddy Lumba, Samini, Great Ampong, Diana Samoa, Nicholas Omane Champon, Nasi, and actors such as Ejako, Prince David Osei, and other high-profile personalities openly express and declare their support for either the NPP or the NDC. The question is, do these endorsements influence voting behavior in Ghana? You as a voter, have you ever been influenced based on the celebrity who endorsed that party? These are the questions we are asking about celebrity endorsements. Do you make your decisions based on celebrity endorsements? We ask, do you make your decisions based on the economy, based on free SHS, based on several factors? Today, the factor we are looking at is celebrity endorsements, that celebrity you hold so dearly to your heart, when they come out and say that this is the party I'm throwing my support behind, do you follow your celebrity? Let's speak with Dr. Abbas Mohammed, a political scientist at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, for this conversation. Good morning. Thank you for your time.
To you and to your listeners as well.
We're grateful for your time today too. How significant have celebrity endorsements been in influencing voter behavior in past Ghanaian elections, from where you stand?
Yeah, if I should answer your question directly, we have to look at it from two perspectives. One has to do with voter turnout, and then the other has to do with the electoral fortunes of the candidates themselves. When it comes to voter turnout, yes, research has established that celebrities have helped to increase or improve voter turnout. And that is understandable, because that appeared to be, for example, also helping the nation, and then also impacting positively on the democratic processes, because it's all about drawing voters' attention to the need to vote during election, which is a good thing, because we see voter turnout as very key when it comes to election. It's all about publicity, and then we know that when it comes to this, publicity, advertisement, and improving or making people interested in activities, celebrities play a significant role over there. So yes, on voter turnout, is quite significant, their role when they also get involved. But when it comes to the electoral fortune of the candidate itself, there's no research clearly that has been able to establish that indeed they do have an impact on how the direction of people's vote, who they vote for and who they don't vote for. So far, there has not been any research. In fact, that aspect is quite challenging.
Well, Doc, isn't it time that we looked at it, that we did some research into that point, especially as in recent years we have seen an increasing number of celebrities or very popular people lend credence to their political candidates?
It hasn't been of much interest, I should say, to political scientists when it comes to those areas and voting, simply because, you see, even that area, there's a problem, because some even argue that we have to separate the two realms. Entertainment is a separate realm in itself, and politics is also a separate realm. And when we mix the two, eventually it will create problem not only for the two realms, but also for their followers, both from the political angle and then also from the entertainment perspective. So, for example, if you are a celebrity, you have a lot of people supporting you, also following you. And when you go along a certain party line, not all your followers also agree, with your direction, because it's all about ideologies, it's all about their beliefs concerning which party is competent, and you are not the person to determine this for them. So it is quite problematic from the supporters of even the celebrity itself. And then again, the politicians, the supporters of the politicians themselves also over there, some of them also are following you, and some of them too are not following you. So it also creates a lot of problem over there. For example, those who are following you, even they themselves are divided, because they don't think it is your duty to determine which direction they go. And then those who are not following you also get angry. So it creates a whole lot of problem over there. So experts have established, and there have been serious argument that the two realms should not even be mixed if we are to enjoy both of them, which are equally very important. We all know how celebrities, entertain the nation, their role, and we also know the importance of politics and how sensitive it is. So definitely people argue strongly that the two should be separated.
But same way we have said that you cannot separate the state from the church, isn't it same when it comes to politics and celebrity endorsements? Without a doubt, there are some celebrities that wield a lot of power. They wield a lot for, let's say, the influence, yes, on their supporters. So much so that what they say becomes sacrosanct, becomes the gospel for them. If I am a political party and I'm able to affiliate myself with such a celebrity, isn't it for me? Doesn't it do the work for me? If the state and the church are able to marry in certain ways, then celebrity endorsements and politics also can be able to marry. Do you agree?
It's not true. It's not true that we haven't separated the state from the church. In fact, clearly in political science, what has brought us to where we are currently is our ability to separate the state from the church. So where we are currently, the state is a different realm altogether, and the church is also a different realm altogether. The two don't mix, religion and politics. Today, formally, we have taken religion out of politics, but you can't take religion out of the state. It's still an important segment of the state, and then also has some role, and one of which is it also has a certain political role, but that doesn't mean the two are merged together. Clearly, they have been separated. If we haven't separated them, we wouldn't be where we are currently. There will be a lot of problem for the state. For example, previously, before where we are currently, we see how clearly there's a emergence between religion and the state, and to the extent that sometimes even is the religion that provides some of the doctrines, etc., which the state uses to manage the affairs of the people. But that has been resolved long time ago by the separation. But as I said, the separation doesn't mean you deny religion the right to also engage in some form of politics, because politics is, as we like, it permeates everywhere, it exists everywhere, and everybody within the state is also affected by the state policies and whatever it does. So everybody, everywhere you are, have this right. So in the same way, people are arguing that the two should be separated, but that doesn't mean celebrities cannot take part in politics and be at the forefront. But it shouldn't be like whatever they do automatically is what should set the direction for their followers. And we must have that understanding. And we have seen it, even Oprah Winfrey and the rest, they did support Obama. But of course, that increased, as I said, the turnout. But when it comes to the electoral fortune, it's quite problematic. There's a lot of debate. People don't think that we should encourage that, where celebrities strictly, the direction they go, the followers also must go. That even seems to infringe on their rights of choice. And right of choice is the most fundamental right that every individual has, such that even your father or your mother who gave birth to you should not interfere with your right of choice, how much less a celebrity.
Okay. Doc, in an election focused on key issues such as unemployment, education, and economic stability, how much weight will or do celebrity endorsements carry compared to strong policy proposals by the various candidates and their parties?
When we talk of policies, again, we are also talking about how you sell those policies and convince people to buy into your policies. So again, over there, celebrities have a positive role, as I said earlier, because of It's an issue of publicity. And today, even we see on TV, when people are selling products, okay, all sort of products and services, they do involve celebrities. We see Kudus, Kibo Gari, or whatever it is. So it's impactful, it's positive. So they have that role they can play. I mentioned one which has to do with turnout. We can involve them in it, either voluntarily or at least oblige them to also be involved to impact possibly in that direction, which is voter turnout. Yes, the political parties themselves can also involve them to also sell their policies, okay, to the people, to convince the people of their policies. And all those things are quite good. That's why I say we can't take them out of politics. But when it comes to who to vote for, that is where there is a problem, because that one, it seems you are trying to infringe or interfere with somebody's freedom of choice. And that one we mustn't encourage, because freedom of choice is so, so key. In fact, at the beginning of democracy, it's so important that people didn't even want political parties to campaign, because they don't want you to influence people's freedom of choice. Let them just outline your policies, whatever it is, let them go through it, and if they are convinced, then they vote for you. But don't try to use any other means, like we see advertisement on all this campaigning, because it's all considered as interfering with the judgment of the electorate. So that is how important freedom of choice actually is. But of course, now where we are, we can't do away with all those things, the campaigning, because we all know some of these campaigns are even lies. The promises are even lies. And in truth, to deceive somebody to actually vote for you, it's a serious offense, right? So let alone using celebrity to also change the direction of people's votes. So in political science, we don't think when it comes to that is the best, but they can still play an active role in politics in the direction that I said earlier, voter turnout, and what you also brought up to sell policies to the electorates.
Freedom of choice. What are some of the dangers or implications of hanging a political candidate's fortunes on celebrity endorsements?
Before that, even when we talk of celebrities endorsement, we need to know that those who even benefit more are the celebrities themselves. Because mostly, one, they are contracted, so there is some remuneration that goes with it. Two, they come into the limelight, so it increases their reputation. People who didn't even know of them, have not seen them, now begin to see them and even hear of them. So it also enhances their reputation. And in addition to enhancing their reputation, we can also talk about bringing them closer to the source of power. And we know how important that one is. If you work with these political parties and they come into power, you have been brought closer to them. So in fact, they even benefit more when it comes to these endorsements that we are talking about. But the dangers is that when a candidate decides to rely on them, that candidate could be seriously disappointed. Because as I said, freedom of choice or people's ability to choose is something you don't take for granted. You don't take easily. It goes beyond just a mere celebrity. And in fact, a celebrity, before even the celebrity can affect and influence people, that celebrity must be seen in a favorable light, okay, by these people. And he must be seen in a very positive light. And must also be very familiar, somebody they are very familiar with. And mostly it is very difficult because, you know, some of these celebrities also have some issues. At one or time or the other, these issues crop up. So you don't rely solely on them. But you can bring them on board to draw much attention to your activities, so that the more people pay attention to your activities and the more quality and competent you are in conducting these activities, that is what is going to convince the people. So yes, the celebrity can draw people's attention towards you because he or she is part of you. But at the end of the day, that is not what is going to determine whether they will vote for you or not. It's going to be their belief in your competence, your ability, and you being the right person for them.
Okay. Thank you, Doc. We are grateful for your time this morning.
You're welcome.
Dr. Abbas Muhammad is a political science lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Will celebrity endorsements have any impact on the 2024 elections? He says that when it comes to voter turnout, celebrities play a role, but we should be careful about celebrity endorsements so as not to infringe on the freedom of choice of voters. And that's all for politics today. Up next, Happy Hour. Is the segment where we help you wish that loved one a happy birthday or send that special shout outs to the person. So get in touch with us via socials and we will do well to wish them for you. We have a few wishes. Let's help some loved ones do them. This is going to the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodria Frimpong, and it's coming from National Past TESCON Executives. Says happy birthday. Today we celebrate not just another year of your incredible journey, but also the lasting impact you've had on our organization. Your dedication, hard work, and positive spirits continue to inspire us all, even though we've moved on to new adventures. We are grateful for the legacy you have left behind, the memories, friendship, and achievements that still resonate within our community. On your special day, we wish you immense joy, success, and fulfillment in all you do. Here's to more chapters of greatness in your life. Enjoy your day to the fullest, knowing that you are missed and cherished. This is from the past executives of TESCON to the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodria Frimpong. Happy birthday. If you also want to send a wish, just get in touch with us via our socials and we will do well to do that wish for you. Our socials at ABC News GH _ at ABC News GH _. Up next is Executive Interview. Executive Interview is a segment that you need to take advantage of. Call us on 053-916-1609 and let's feature you on Executive Interview. That venture you are into, that business you are running, that printing press you have started. We are entering Christmas. Somebody may want to print a certain t-shirt from you. Get in touch with us and let's feature you on Executive Interview. Today on Executive Interview, we are celebrating Ghana's jewelry. We all love jewelry, don't we? And JAG, Jewelry Association of Ghana, is set to hold gold statements from 28th to 30th of November this year. The Jewelers Association of Ghana and Rapport Services, it's set to hold the 2024 edition of the Gold Statement to celebrate Ghana's jewelry sector and promote the sale and exhibition of the country's finest jewelry. For those of you who love jewelry, this is for you. Let's have a conversation with the president of the Jewelers Association of Ghana, Jonathan Abebiu, about what they are set to hold and how it impacts the rest of us, and if we are even invited to that statement. Good morning, Jonathan. Thank you for your time this morning.
Good morning, and a very good morning to your viewers as well.
Jewelers Association of Ghana. For those of us who do not know of your association, what is it? In just 30 seconds.
Yeah, so the Jewelers Association is an association that brings... Hello?
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
Yeah, it's an association that brings all the jewelers under one umbrella to help them with their problems and, assist in various areas of the industry.
Okay. And now you have this gold statement that you're holding from 28th to 30th. For many, this is new to our ears. What is Gold Statement?
Okay, so Gold Statement is a collaboration between Rapport Services and the Jewelers Association, with including other players in the jewelry and gemstone industry of Ghana. Now, it is to showcase the jewelry that is produced by indigenous Ghanaian jewelers, and to bring them together under one roof to share ideas of their experiences, difficulties, and triumphs throughout the year. It also acts as an end-of-year celebration and acknowledging an awards night, which is the gala night on the 30th. So it's 2 days of the opening ceremony and seminars with the jewelers.
Okay, but who are the stakeholders that should be looking at attending the Gold Statement? I don't sell jewelry. I love jewelry. I like to wear jewelry. Another sells jewelry. Who are the stakeholders who will need to be at this 3-day event?
Yeah, it's open to everyone and enthusiasts of jewelry and gemstones. I mean, sometimes some people, hear about certain aspects of jewelry and they're not sure and they want to know a bit more. They can come round and be part of the discussion. So, I mean, their questions can be answered.
In coming there, before even we attend this program, how is the Ghanaian industry faring at the moment? The jewelry and gemstone industry in Ghana, how is it faring? Are you standing on some good legs?
We've had our challenges, and we've had some good times too. The bit about it is that gold, what's happening on the local market is that our raw material, which is the gold that we source for our work, is becoming challenging in the sense that the world market price has shot up considerably. And the world over, people are shifting money from the money markets into gold, which is a safe haven. And that makes the raw material, far more expensive. Coupled with that, we all know about what's been going on. We've been trying to source our gold responsibly. So we've had to deal with areas, with all these galamsey issues that are going on. We try to streamline who we source from,
okay,
to ensure that our gold is responsibly sourced as well.
In making sure your gold is responsibly sourced, obviously Ghanaians still want jewelry. Ahead of the elections, we know jewelry sales pick up. What are some of the things you are putting in place so that your customers will enjoy from your industry, will get some good discounts and all? What are you putting together for customers?
What we have, thank you, we have identified some of the small scale industry players who are using efficient equipment to refine and who have done away with stuff like mercury. They don't use mercury in their refining process anymore. And also we identify those who are have good practices to source their material. So that's helping us, keep our gold sourcing in line.
Okay. But what are the plans for the festive season for the Jewelry Association of Ghana?
Yes, some of our members will be running promotions and discounts during the period. So we would urge that people take advantage of some of these promotions and discounts from the jewelers who would be providing their services over the festive period. Usually it's a period where people give gifts and presents to family, friends, and some corporate bodies. So it gets very busy in the industry for us.
Okay. We know that in the system, it's not just the Ghanaian businesses or the indigenous businesses. There's also the influx of foreign entities in the industry. How are you able to stay afloat and manage the industry effectively?
Yes, I mean, from time immemorial, in fact, before the indigenous jewelers got involved, the industry was controlled mostly by foreigners. And so this is actually a step forward to encourage a lot more people in Ghana to get involved in the industry. And it's also an avenue to train a lot of the youth for employment, and so that's why we open it up for more people to become aware of what we do, so that it helps people in making choices, especially for the awards, the young ones who are coming out of school as well. And lately we've also added, going to schools to give talks about the industry, because we realized that people were not aware. Unfortunately, the craftsmanship has been added to the curriculum as well. So now some schools are actually training the kids to take part, or to learn how to make little bits and pieces in jewelry.
Mr. Abibio, tell us how anybody who wants to be part of this gold statement from 28th to 30th in November can be a part of it. How can we participate?
Yes, you can call us on I can put out the number of 0244 370 207, and we can give you all the information you need to be part of the celebration.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to seeing how your celebration goes about and how everybody can also enjoy what the Jewelers Association is doing.
Okay, we welcome everyone, and including you and all those.
Give to the people in your association your final words as the president of the Jewelry Association of Ghana.
Yeah, I'll continue to encourage each and everyone, and that we put in hard work to ensure that we put our stuff on the international market. We worked hard in the years past, and we have even more hurdles to surmount in the coming years. I mean, one of the issues that we've been facing, a lot of people. We know that the world has become a small marketplace, so people advertise their stuff on the web. Now, the problem we have is some of the courier companies will not ship out our finished products due to anti-money laundering laws. And that's one thing that we are working towards. It's a policy issue. So we've brought it to the notice of government, and we hope that things like that will be dealt with to encourage a lot of our younger people who want to export through the courier services.
Okay. Mr. Jonathan Abibio, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, and have a good day.
You too, sir. Jonathan Abibio is the president of the Jewelry Association of Ghana, and the Jewelry Association is having the gold statements from 28th to 30th of November 2024. They say on the 30th they will have the gala night, and are calling on everybody to be a part of the program. And that's how we end ABC in the morning today. If you want to be featured on executive interview, get in touch with us on 053-916-1609. 053-916-1609. We've had extensive conversations. We are grateful to all of our guests who joined us for these conversations today on ABC in the morning. to you, our callers who called in to share your opinion. We do not take you for granted at all. Thank you to the crew that put together this show and for executing it so well. And we tell you that on ABC News GH, because we are getting into the elections, we say it is the poll center, and what we are drumming home is votes, not violence. Your thumb is all that we need during this election, not your fist or any other thing. And do not be used as a conduit or any medium or any tool for violence before, during, and after the elections. Be very mindful of your well-being and your safety, and when you are mindful, nobody can entice you to do anything against the law. Let's keep preparing ourselves as we go to the polls on 7th December to all cast our votes to elect for ourselves the MPs who will represent us in Parliament and who becomes the president of the nation. Thursday is today, and we hope that your Thursday goes beautifully. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Abna Manti.